Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Nhl Dfs slate for Thursday, April 20th. We got ourselves a 4-game slate here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up today's video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. Got one of these games coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, one game at 6 goals even, and then the other two there at 5.5 goals. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds where you can see the Avalanche, Maple Leafs, Golden Knights, and Devils are all favored to win here. And then here's a schedule update to wrap up this week. Video here today and tomorrow breaking down each one of those Nhl Dfs slates. And then we got episode 2 of Mulligan Masters coming out here this weekend. And a reminder, I'm doing that NHL jersey giveaway right now too. The winner for that will be announced on Sunday as well. If you're looking to get in on that NHL jersey giveaway, you need to join my Discord where I put in all the rules. It is completely free to join the Discord, completely free to get in on this giveaway, not affiliated with YouTube. So again, if you want to join that or get in on that, there's a link to do so in the description below on this video. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Now, Tuesday was a bit odd with these 4 series here. Every away team won game 1, so you gotta expect some desperation here tonight from these home teams, especially the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they go down 0-2 and then have to go into Tampa, it's going to be really tough for them to come back in this series. Not that it wouldn't be tough for a team like Vegas, but I just foresee that happening a little bit more than Toronto coming back. Call it a curse, call it whatever you want to, but Toronto has struggled to get out of the first round for years now. But I did like what I saw from that second line of O'Reilly, Tavares, and Nylander in Game 1. Really one of the few bright spots for Toronto. They ended up finishing that game with 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. But what stuck out to me even more is they had a Corsi percentage of almost 74%. They had 14 shots on net and just 5 against, so pretty much dominated the pace of play 5-on-5. And then you got O'Reilly and Tavares who play up on the number 1 power play. Nylander plays down on the second. I don't necessarily love that, but needless to say, all 3 of these guys seeing time on the special teams. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that second line for the Vegas Golden Knights. We got Carlson centering Smith and Marchessault. Now, these 3 didn't start together in Game 1. We saw Vegas shuffle their lines about halfway through that game, but I'm not really worried about that because the chemistry between these 3 is certainly real. They've been playing together in Vegas for years now, but we saw Marchessault kind of try it out there with Jack Eichel. Wasn't working in Game 1, so they put these 3 back together. And actually, when they got put back together in that game, they kind of dominated the play 5-on-5 as well, with a Corsi percentage of 83%. That led the entire game. We actually saw all 3 of these guys play together on the same power play as well. Call it the second unit if you will, but Vegas does a pretty good job of splitting up their top 2 power plays, so it's a very strongly correlated line stack here, very affordable to roster, and again, the chemistry between these 3 has certainly been there for a few years now. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And again, don't forget I am running that Discord channel too. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Not only do we have a great group of people in there talking hockey, posting their prize picks, but again, I'm doing that NHL jersey giveaway in there right now, and that is going to be released, or announced rather, come this Sunday. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. Going to highlight these first 2 together, and Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche. Top 2 forwards for this Avalanche team. And yeah, they're likely going to be popular here tonight, but I expect a big game from these 2, being down 1-0 in this series at home right now. They didn't play bad in Game 1 by any means. Had 16 shot attempts together, 10 shots on net. MacKinnon led the entire game in expected goals. We know the upside that these 2 offer. Expect both to play around 20 plus minutes here tonight on that first line and on that number 1 power play. I then got Nico Hischier there of the New Jersey Devils. Tough to get a read on this Devils team. They didn't look great in Game 1. Kind of saw the experience of the New York Rangers take over that game. And Vitek Vanacek was not very good for them either. Obviously, that's a goaltending situation. We're talking about the forwards here. But Nico Hischier was pretty solid for the Devils overall, led the team in expected goals, second on the team in shot attempts just behind Jack Hughes, but led the team in shots on goal with 5. He was definitely someone who can find the back of the net, can get himself on the score sheet, and they probably need a big game from their captain here tonight if they want to stay alive in this series. Now, one guy who definitely showed his playoff experience in Game 1 was Chris Kreider, the New York Rangers. DraftKings could have priced him up in the $6K range for sure, but I'll take advantage of this price tag of $5,500. A guy who plays on the first line in number 1 power play. He had 1.5 expected goals in Game 1. For those of you who don't follow that, that's pretty crazy. He had 2 goals in that game, just played very well in general. Again, kind of showing that playoff experience that the Rangers have and the Devils really don't. And then I got Alex Killorn there of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Continue to like this price tag here in the low 4K range for a guy who plays on the second line but up on the number 1 power play. Especially considering the Toronto Maple Leafs had 8 penalties in Game 1. They're probably not going to do that here tonight. They certainly need to be more disciplined, but even if they give them 3-4 power play chances, Tampa dominated on the power play in Game 1, scoring on 50% of their chances, so if Killorn's going to get that opportunity again, I like him at this price here. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, same approach here tonight, targeting guys who play 20-plus minutes, get time on the power play on the penalty kill, can get on the score sheet, have the potential for 3-plus block shots, all that good stuff. I have no problem spending up for Cale Makar, Alex Pietrangelo, or Dougie Hamilton, but again, on this slate here, I'm finding most of the value in the 3 to 5K range. Mentioned that here in the notes off to the right-hand side. But in terms of the spreadsheet, guys, here, Adam Fox completely dominated Game 1 for the New York Rangers. Not only did he have 4 assists, 4 block shots, 33 DraftKings points, his Corsi percentage was off the charts. Basically, anytime he was on the ice, the Rangers had the puck on their stick. And he's $5,600 here, way too cheap in my opinion, so I'll definitely go back to him. Mikhail Sergachev there of the Tampa Bay Lightning, kind of the same approach here with Alex Killorn. If the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to put this Lightning team on the power play a handful of times in this series, I like going to that number 1 power play. That's where we see Sergachev play. He's a guy who logs big minutes in general too. And then Bowen Byram here and Samuel Girard. Again, I do like Cale Makar. Devontae is definitely in play at $4,900. But these two together are playing 5-on-5 right now, as well as the number 2 power play. So at $4,500 and $4,100, I kind of like pairing them together. And that's not something I typically do, trying to find correlation with my defensemen. But these two certainly make sense, playing them in the same lineup. And then I went with the same 2 goaltenders that I highlighted on Tuesday with Alexander Georgiev and Igor Shesterkin. Georgiev was not at his best for the Avalanche on Tuesday, but he didn't play horribly either, and this is a game that I do expect the Avalanche to win here tonight. You know, I don't want to say the Avalanche dominated by any means because they lost that game 3-1, but if you look at MoneyPuck.com, they simulate the same game 1,000 different times, saying, here's how the game should go more times than not. If you look at that, the Avalanche should have won that game about 67-68% of the time, so I'm really not too concerned about them. And then Igor Shesterkin, we talked about this on Tuesday. He was absolutely fantastic in his last 15 games during the regular season. He carried that into Game 1, allowed just 1 goal, and had a save percentage of .964. So as long as he remains at this price here at $7,600, I'm going to be rostering him. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Jaden Schwartz of the Seattle Kraken. Plays on that second line in number 1 power play. Had 1 assist and 1 shot on net in Game 1. Not a fantastic performance, but continues to get on the score sheet against this Avalanche team. He now has 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 3 games against the Avs this year. Now, before I talk about Thomas Tatar, I also think that Blake Wheeler in the 3K range for the Jets is definitely in play. I don't love that he only played 12 minutes in Game 1, but he did have 1 goal, 2 assists on that second line in number 1 power play. The reason I didn't highlight him here is because he could get bumped down to the number 2 power play tonight if Nikolai Ehlers is back. And I also had Adam Lowry there. We'll talk about him here in a second. But Thomas Tatar of the New Jersey Devils plays on that first line in number 2 power play. Had 4 shots on net in Game 1. Nothing to brag about, but did play well to wrap up the regular season with 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in his last 10 games, showing that he had 30-plus DraftKings point upside. And then Adam Lowry there of the Winnipeg Jets plays on the third line in number 2 power play. Had a really good Game 1 with 2 goals, 23 DraftKings points, and he played very well against this Vegas team during the regular season too, with 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points in 3 games. And I did like the ice time that he saw in Game 1, played around 18-19 minutes in that game. And then to wrap up this video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. Now with the playoffs here, everyone, as you've probably come to notice, these lines are certainly getting tight. But the beautiful thing about prize picks is you don't have to just play NHL. You could do an NBA pick mixed with an MLB pick and then wrap it up with an NHL pick. There's a lot of value across the board. If you haven't signed up for prize picks yet and you want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Again, you don't have to put $100 in either. You can put in $50, they'll match that. You want to put in $5, they'll match that $5. Again, they'll match anything up to $100 as long as you use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Now, for those of you who are already on Prize Picks, you guys know the plan of attack here. Going to do my research today, go through all these picks, and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. Don't forget, I post all my picks in my Discord channel too, and for what it's worth, everyone, my NHL secondary picks have been significantly better than my primary picks so far here. It's only been 3 days, so I'm not going to beat myself up, but it's a true statement. My secondary picks have been better, and you can find those in my Discord channel. Alright, everyone, that's going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 4-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.